Welcome back to BYOB. We got the third episode live. It is April 10th, Saturday. We have the third day of the Masters today. Looking forward to that. Been a great 2 days. Big news out of that. Dustin Johnson not making the cut. So that was big to see out of Augusta. A very special guest that we have on BYOB today, a former Cleveland Indians pitcher, DJ Brown, played at JMU, got drafted in 2012, and played a couple years in the minor leagues. So just want to introduce him. We'll talk some baseball, we'll talk some football, and we'll touch on a little bit of golf and basketball. So here we go. DJ, welcome. Thanks for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. Third ever episode, so brand new, seeing how it goes.
First special guest.
That's right, first
Honors.
interview. That's right. So just why don't you just give us a quick little background, where you come from, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in Orange County, Virginia. Played high school baseball, basketball. Got recruited to James Madison University, where I met Katie Merriman, who is your sister. Played baseball there for 2 years. Then I got hurt my junior year. Still managed somehow to get drafted my junior year, 2012. Decided, the pros outweighed the cons of going back, so I went to sign with the Cleveland Indians in 2012 and played about 5 seasons with them, and then played independent baseball for 1 season, and then decided to move back home and become a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, so it's been great having DJ back home. Obviously, when he was playing traveling around, going around, seeing him play, all that. Just going back to some college baseball. So you're playing at JMU. You guys won the conference your junior year, sophomore year?
Sophomore year. We won the regular season my freshman year and got knocked out. I think we lost 2 out of 3 to start the tournament my freshman year, and then we won the regular season and the tournament sophomore year, and then we went to UNC, lost to UNC in the championship.
Yeah, they have a nice park.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, they're a professional stadium.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, all of UNC's facilities are nice down there. I know they just got a new lacrosse and soccer stadium as well. So really nice facilities down at UNC. But that must have been a cool experience. Who were the other 2 teams? So it was UNC, y'all.
It was Florida International and Maine University.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember.
And y'all, it was the top 2 out of that. Move on. Is that how it works?
Just the top team out of regionals.
Was it UNC?
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember Garrett Whittles. He was kind of a big name. I think he had.
For UNC?
No, for Florida International. He had some, I think, off-the-field issues. He was kind of in the news a lot.
Gotcha.
But, he was a good player, but...
Does he play in the league?
No.
Okay.
There's some players from UNC.
There's a text from my sister, probably.
There's some players from UNC that are still in the league right now. Jacob Stallings, I think, is one of them.
That you played against?
Yeah, he's on the Pirates, I believe. It's hard to keep up with all the players. But.
Yeah. No, what was the biggest player you've ever played with, you think? Or against? Or both?
Probably Shane Bieber. I mean,
You played with him?
Played with him in Akron, Ohio, AA. He's with the Cleveland Indians right now. He won the Cy Young last year.
Oh, dang.
He's currently striking out the world. I think he's got like 24 strikeouts and 2 starts.
To start the season? Yeah.
So,
what are the Cleveland Indians starting well?
I think they're about 500.
Okay.
I don't know exactly their record. I think they lost the first couple, and then I think they've pulled out a few since then. But
yeah. It would be fun to see. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but I do love going to ballparks. So hopefully, I'm not sure about the Tides, but that would be nice if we get some Tides games in this summer. We'll see how that goes.
They're playing, I think.
Are they playing?
Yeah, I think they're doing certain restrictions, but I think the first home game's like the 17th of May.
Nice. Nice. We got to go check some of those games out. But going back to last year, baseball was the first sport to really go through the whole thing. I mean, it was right during spring training when the virus hit, shut everything down. Uh, and then they came back in the summertime, played a condensed season. Obviously, it was, like I said, it was the first professional sport to, really be doing it through the virus. And they had a couple outbreaks to start the season. I want to say the Rays, right? The Rays had a big outbreak. But just, looking back on it, it's just interesting to see how we've dealt with this virus, and glad sports can still be going on.
It was unfortunate last year, though. The minor leagues were completely out. Some minor leagues were still getting paid. The players were still getting paid up until like June, but a lot of teams stopped paying the players because they weren't, they didn't have a season. But
funny story, when we were snowboarding this winter, but one of the clubbies that worked at what was it? The
Potomac Nationals.
Yeah, Potomac Nationals. Yeah. I think he was saying he got laid off from that job. So yeah. Unfortunate times. It really is a struggle for everyone. But glad
high school athletes, college athletes. I mean,
I know.
Last season had to have been tough.
Yeah. But glad we're hopefully coming out on the other side of this. Still working through it. So, going back to the MLB. Who the Dodgers and the Rays were in it last year? Is that correct?
I believe.
And the Dodgers won.
Yeah, Dodgers won.
The Rays had Snell, the pitcher.
Yep. He's not on them anymore.
Where's he?
I think he's on the Padres now.
Padres. Yeah. Oh, look at them. I know a little about the Padres. They got the Tatis. Tatis Jr. Is he hurt? I saw he might have got hurt the other night. I think it was on a missed pitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
So talking about pitching real quick. What's the toughest pitch? What's your favorite pitch? What's the sickest pitch to strike somebody out on?
Probably, a fastball. Anytime you can just rear back and throw it as hard as you can and the hitter can't catch up to it, it's kind of a... Is
that pretty common, or is that everyone has a personal choice?
I think everyone has a personal choice. Everyone, has a fastball. So, whether it's a sinking fastball, not a rising fastball, but, a lot of spin rate nowadays is a big thing. Shane Bieber, I'm going back to him just because his fastball, it's like unhittable, it seems like. He's got so much spin on it.
What is it, 98 or 100?
No, he's on, I think he tops out at 95, 96 maybe. He's more like a 92, 94 guy.
It's just what, location?
It's location and how his ball comes. Like, all of his pitches come out of the same little window of his hand, so it's hard to pick up the difference, and all of his pitches are just nasty.
Yeah.
His fastball probably looks 100 when everything else is...
Yeah. Now, that's, I'm a big lacrosse guy, and we talk about it in lacrosse, and I feel like you don't really hear this comparison a lot, but if you think about it, a pitcher and a catcher are very similar to in lacrosse as a shooter and a goalie, but it's just of different teams, so it's a little different. But as far as locating the ball, the catcher should know where the pitch is coming from a pitcher, where the goalie is trying to track the ball and a shooter's stick. But, goalies are taught to try and track the ball as soon as possible. Right. And good shooters are taught to try and hide, their shot as long as possible.
Right.
So just throwing that comparison in there, but
yeah, definitely. If a catcher didn't know what pitch was coming or where it was going, it would look a lot worse than it does.
Yeah. It is crazy how those pitchers can put so much spin on those balls and stuff like that. I just saw who was the latest Indians pitcher that got traded out? Trevor Bauer, right?
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
I heard his balls are getting looked at.
Yeah, they're sent to MLB. He's having a field day on Twitter and stuff too.
That's crazy too on baseball. I don't understand how there's so many different types of balls.
It's not the ball; it's what he's putting on the ball. Is what they're testing. So all the balls are
tar. Or,
they're checking it for pine tar. Or any illegal substance that they can come up with. But it's unfortunate they're singling him out because I don't think he's the only one getting balls sent into MLB.
Yeah.
But he's always like
Is he still doing the vlogs?
He does vlogs and he does a lot of things to promote himself. So I don't think MLB likes him in certain ways. So I think they're kind of finding ways to get him in trouble. I guess.
And it's really just him. Is anyone else?
He's the only name I've seen, but I guarantee other pitchers have had balls sent in.
Yeah. Is there any other players that do vlogs and online stuff like him? Or he's probably the biggest.
He's the biggest. I think other players are starting to get a little more into it. With podcasts, with YouTube interviews. I don't know if you know Pitching Ninja on Twitter.
No,
he started out by just like GIFs and little clips of pitchers, but he's kind of turned into like he interviews these guys. He'll like ask them their pitch grips and what their favorite pitches are, their mindset behind things. He's a really good follow. If you're a baseball fan, Pitching Ninja on Twitter is 100% a good follow. Shout out
to Pitching Ninja. I got to check that out. I've never seen that. I just heard that the MLB is taking more or they're putting more time and effort into stuff like that, like clips and highlights that players can use it on social media. So
they need to. They need to. They need to bring more enjoyment to the game. The world's changing where everyone's on their phones and stuff. There's more access to everything. So why not make it more accessible?
Mm-hmm.
Baseball can be a boring game, a long game, but the more you can make it entertaining and get the fans involved with certain players and really have these favorite players,
Yeah, and I was listening. I want to say it was Spain and Fitz the other night. They might have been talking about this. The different cultures of it, too. Like in Japan, the fans are crazy. Like they sing songs and are up on their feet the whole time. And they were comparing that to, American fans and who just kind of sit there.
Americans are just sitting there drinking beer, having some popcorn.
Right. I like I said before, I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but I do enjoy going to games, especially when I'm going to see your play.
I played in Venezuela for a month and a half,
that's right.
almost 2 months, and their fans are a lot different too. They're not there to socialize; they're there to watch the games and learn the players and get to know the players. And
I respect that. that.
Sure.
I think that's why so many people can be brought together by sports.
Yeah,
they're interested in it, and like you probably met maybe some fans that became of yours.
Well, it was crazy because their economy was when I was there was when the economy was really starting to plummet, and now I think it's even worse. But fans would do whatever they could to scrounge up a ticket to a baseball game.
That's awesome.
That's the thing they do down there.
Yeah. Dedication. Loyal fans are what make the game great. So, what would you say your favorite or coolest place that you played at?
We practiced in Cleveland Stadium one year before the season, just to they wanted us to test out the new lights that they got.
Did they renovate the whole thing, or just new lights and new scoreboard?
I know it was new lights. I think they've pieced things together throughout some years, but they wanted us to test out the lights to see like how they react, and we had a full practice scrimmage. Just being on a major league field was pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Minor league wise, Columbus, Ohio is I gotta give it to Columbus. That was
the Rubber Ducks.
The Columbus Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that was
the Rubber Ducks were Akron.
It was Double-A, which was a nice stadium as well.
Yeah.
The Indians, all the Indians minor league stadiums were very nice. Winston-Salem that you came to was really nice.
That was a nice.
Portland, Maine had like an old school like Red Sox feel to it. They're with the Red Sox and they had a big green monster and.
Okay, and don't they have that in their spring training ground too?
Yeah, I think they try to have all their fields set up the same distance as their major league field kind of thing.
Another interesting piece about baseball is the fields, how the field sizes can vary.
Every field's different.
Baseball has so many unique, like the pitching stuff, the DH, the National League, or you can be a DH in one and not the other.
And even fields that are the same distance will play differently based on altitude, wind. One stadium's right on the water.
Yeah.
The wind might be blowing straight out, and a pop-up will be a home run versus another field that's, really thick air, and the ball doesn't go anywhere.
When you were on the Clippers, you guys came to Norfolk. Is that correct?
The Clippers did, but I didn't. I was only with the Clippers for a shorter time.
Okay, but you played you've played at Harbor Park or no?
No, I haven't played at Harbor Park. No.
Okay. Harbor Park's not bad. I mean, it's not the best. I think they could maybe renovate it a little bit, but it does have a nice feel to it on the water there. But
I think they just need to build some stuff around it. Maybe,
or they were talking about the casino possibly getting in there. I don't know what the latest is with that. I think public transportation having the tide there if the tide potentially grows someday. So stuff to look forward to. Maybe one of the last things, touching on MLB. Any favorites this year?
It's hard to go against the Dodgers. With
the
starting pitching they have to go along with that lineup. I mean, they got Bauer now. They have Kershaw.
Gosh.
I mean, they got 5 starters that are throwing 95 or better.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Mookie Betts and Corey Seager.
Kershaw's first World Series was last year?
Yeah.
Because he had the playoff.
Yeah, everyone says he's terrible in the playoffs. Which he did. Even this last year, I don't think he had a really good playoff. But
isn't that similar to David Price as well? He's known not to have the best playoff?
Not as bad as Kershaw. Kershaw's the main one. Because he'd have
So does that give Kershaw valid? Like, is he good now? Is Kershaw?
I hope so. I mean, the guy has like a 1-something ERA every year. Yeah. But then for some reason that first playoff game, he'll give up like 7 runs. And everyone says it's because he's in the playoffs. But I mean, baseball is a funny sport. You'll have the best pitcher ever one day giving up 6-7 runs, and the next day throwing a no-hitter. I mean, that's just how it's like golf. Dustin Johnson not making the cut, like you said.
All right.
You can be dominant, but you're still going to have days that'll humble you. And guys can't be perfect. Look at hitters. You get 3 hits out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer. So you're going to get out 7 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. You got to take the losses with the wins and keep rolling. So maybe we want to touch on some college baseball real quick. I went to the University of Georgia. They, as we're recording this right now, currently playing Vanderbilt. I know they played them last night, Thursday night as well, and beat them. So that was a big win for the Georgia Bulldogs. Don't know too much about any prospects. Maybe DJ.
Yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt's loaded with prospects.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about Georgia's baseball team this year. I know they're 19-10, I believe. So, I mean, their record's pretty good. But Vanderbilt is just – they're Kumar Rocker and Jack Leader are 2 of the best pitchers, I think, ever in college baseball, and they're on the same team.
So they will get drafted. When is the draft?
I think they're both eligible this year. They might go 1-2.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into the draft prospect thing, but
they always have a good baseball team.
They do. They've always gotten good pitchers too. That's where David Price went.
There's Dansby Swanson, right? He went to Vanderbilt. It's on the Braves.
Yeah, he's not a pitcher, but I think he was on Vanderbilt.
Or a shortstop. Something like that. But Vanderbilt, I think they've had a couple College World Series in the past couple of years. I want to say definitely been there.
They're probably the favorite this year, I would say.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs for beating them last night. Hopefully, we'll see what happens for the rest of the series. Any other prospects on your mind that you can think of?
No, I mean JMU is. I think they're doing okay. Since I left, they've been struggling a little bit, but I just saw something. They got a freshman that's leading all of NCAA in ERA for freshmen.
Dang.
So he's got like a 1.09 ERA or something as a freshman. So it's exciting. Hopefully, the future of JMU comes back to because JMU used to be a powerhouse before I got there, and then my freshman sophomore year, we were pretty good too. Then I got hurt. Matt Snagley, the first baseman, tore his ACL. Our assistant coach left in the middle of the year, so
Yeah.
a lot of things started spiraling downward.
Yeah.
So the new coaching staff and everything starting to pick things back up. Some good recruits,
And they have a turf field up there, right?
they do.
Was it turf when you were there?
It was turf, yeah. So the new stadium was built for my freshman year. So my freshman fall, we were on the old stadium.
You timed that up pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, they use it as a recruiting tool. We'll have a fresh new stadium. But,
right.
I wanted to go to JMU anyway because it's not too far. It's not too close. It's a really cool school. I went, a couple times.
How far is that from Orange?
It's about an hour and a half from my house that I grew up in. But yeah, so it was turf with like a dirt mound and dirt bases. And then they turfed the bases, and now they turfed the mound, and they turfed the home plate. So I don't know how you can pitch on a turf mound.
Yeah.
But that's like the new thing because there's less maintenance. You don't have to fix the dirt.
I mean, I've always been, interested in like the Big Ten schools. It's hard for them to start so early. They have to wait for the weather to get better.
Yeah.
So
I mean, turf makes it. My freshman year, there was about a foot of snow right before our season opener. I think we started in Florida, but that week before we had a whole bunch of snow. We were out there. It wasn't approved yet to get like a plow on top of the turf. So we were shuffling our feet trying to break up the snow to hopefully make it melt faster, which I don't think worked. But
well, shout out to any grounds crew people for the baseball fields. These guys are crazy. When a storm comes in and the tarp. You'll see some funny videos of people getting swallowed up by that tarp.
One grounds crew guy, when I was playing in Lynchburg, Virginia, he said that he was trying to get the tarp on the field earlier, and the umpires told him, no, wait, like it'll be okay, like it might pass us. And it was like a hurricane that just came through, and they were trying to pull the tarp, and he said he jumped, like the tarp pulled him like 15, 20 feet in the air.
Because of the wind?
The wind, and he didn't let go. He was like, why'd you let go?
It was a roller coaster. That's fun.
I'm sure it's scary, though. People get trapped underneath and get yanked around, too. So.
Yeah. So, that wraps up some baseball talk. Moving on to some football talk. Obviously in the off season right now, summertime coming up. Looking forward to the fall and football starting to get back going. Big Washington football team fans here. We got some WTF fans or WFT, WTF. What is it? But some exciting off-season gets for the football team. We got some magic coming in. Excited for that, even if it's only for a year or two. Really, you can't be excited, or you can't not be excited about a journeyman like Ryan Fitzpatrick coming to your team.
Yeah, I mean, he just I feel like he lightens up the team. Everyone wants to play for him. Like he's kind of like a Ron Rivera. Older guy. Everyone's got respect for that. They're going to show up for him.
I think Riviera will outlast Fitzmagic at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hopefully.
Rivera's not that old.
But
I'm just excited because I feel like he'll sling the ball around. Washington's been a team that's a dink and dunk.
I know. Even when we had Kirk Cousins, I mean, and McShay was our offense coordinator. I mean, that was still conservative, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we threw a lot, but we were also down a lot. So it was like they had to.
Right.
It was like... And they weren't taking shots. It was like 10-yard passes, 20-yard at the most.
Yeah. Cousins was good. I'm glad we don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
It
was good while it lasted.
It was good while it lasted. It's a good way to put it. And what we've had since hasn't been the best either.
No.
Haskins was a gamble. I think he has a lot of talent. But he only played 1 year at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I think that was a gamble.
He needs to mature a little bit.
Yeah, that too. Well, he's on the Steelers now, and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Only has a couple more years left, so
so
maybe he'll learn something from Big Ben. Big Ben having 2 titles?
I think so. Two.
And under Coach Tomlin up there too. I think that'll be good for Haskins. We'll see how he can respond.
So Washington with the name change. they're going to try to be the first team in the NFC East in a long time to win back-to-back. So I'm hoping with the name change, they'll rewrite the record books. Because they're right. Be nice. I was watching.
Say that one more time. The NFC East back-to-back.
Back-to-back champions. There hasn't been a back-to-back since like 98, 99 or something.
I
saw some on ESPN and the one guy wanted to vote for Washington, but he was like, one thing the NFC East does is not have back-to-back champions.
I have seen that graphic before.
So I'm hoping with the new no-name team,
we can make a little run here. Yeah. I mean, how let's just say inconsistent we were last year. Our defense was consistent. I thought our defense kept us in a lot of games for sure. I think they won us the Cardinals.
I think they won us a couple games.
Yeah. Literally, there was one week where I don't think our offense scored, and our defense had like 3 touchdowns. Chase Young had a strip touchdown. Pick six. Yeah. So looking forward to the offense getting better. So Fitzmagic, we got Curtis Samuel and Adam Humphries also coming in from the Titans. Fitzmagic and Humphries were together at the Buccaneers.
Yeah, 2018. It was Humphrey's best year of his career.
So,
rekindle that magic.
Look at that. Rekindle that Fitzmagic. Receiver cores is strong, I think. Scary Terry. We just added, Curtis Samuel. The old Virginia Tech quarterback, Logan Thomas. He did well for us on the tight end.
Antonio Gibson in the backfield.
J.D.
McKissick.
That was a bummer that Gibson was hurt at the end of the season, right?
He had that toe injury.
Yeah, he didn't play in the playoffs, right? He didn't play against the Bucs, or did he?
I think he played against the Bucs, but I don't think he played before. I mean, he wasn't 100%. You can tell he wasn't.
But our other guy,
McKissick.
J.D. McKissick.
Yeah. He's more of a pass-catching back. But I feel like with McKissick...
Whatever happened to Chris Thompson? He's on the Jags now, right? I don't even...
Yeah.
But
he didn't do anything, really.
Did he get traded in the middle of the season or at the beginning of the season last year?
Before the season.
He wasn't even on the team last year.
Nope.
I liked Chris Thompson.
And that's what they kind of wanted McKissick to be.
Right.
But I think Chris Thompson was more of a dual run and pass. I think McKissick's more of just a pass catcher. Yeah. But I feel like with McKissick, Gibson... McLaurin, Samuel, all those guys could line up in the backfield, could be wide receivers. I mean, Gibson was wide receiver in college.
Right.
So, I mean, you could...
At Memphis, right?
You could almost have like a Chiefs-type offense where guys are all over the place, running all over the place.
Yeah.
They're all fast.
Uh-huh.
I mean...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I thought we were one of the best teams to play the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I mean, we played them tough.
Yeah. Personally, obviously,
that
as a Washington fan, I feel like they should have won the game.
Yeah, right? That touchdown by Heineke was awesome, where he was diving.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We got Heineke.
Heineke.
But he's going to be...
I've heard River Ron has said, he came out and said it's going to be a competition, which I think is smart. I honestly don't care who starts, really.
Yeah.
I think either or. If I had to choose... Maybe just start Fitzmagic and give Heineke maybe some time to learn.
There's just so much unknown with him. With Heineke. Because he only played one game with us. He looked great to be sitting on his couch taking online classes or whatever to straight into a playoff game. But I think he's kind of like a Fitzmagic guy though, where he'll bring up the team. People were rallying. Look at Chase Young was talking about him. I think he earned the respect, at least.
Yeah, excited about our defense. They are exciting to watch. And that's the thing. We have one of the best defenses in the league. We need to take advantage of this time.
Yeah. You're not going to have all those linemen at the same time.
And so it will be interesting to see what we do in the draft, too. I'm not sure. I haven't really kept up to see who we're projected to pick.
I keep seeing offensive tackle, which I don't think would be a bad play.
Never a bad play to pick up an offensive tackle. The guy that we get? Yeah, the guy that we got a couple years ago from Iowa, Sheriff, right? Sheriff. He got hurt last season. I think he was out, or a season or two ago.
They lost Trent Williams too.
Yeah, Trent Williams is gone. So excited for the football team to get back in action. Staying in the NFC East, The Eagles getting rid of Carson Wentz. He's going to be in Indianapolis. And the Eagles are going to be riding with Jalen Hurts, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. He was exciting in a few games. I mean, there was a couple games where I was nervous to play against, for Washington to play against him that last game. Luckily, they pulled out a win, but he looks good in spurts. I don't think he's got that consistent factor yet, but he's athletic. I mean, he's scary.
So he crushed the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh gosh. So he was the starter in that national championship game,
and then he
got pulled and benched by Nick Saban during halftime, and this guy that no one knew how to pronounce his last name, Tua, still don't know how to pronounce his last name, on the Dolphins, comes in, double overtime, throws this game-winning touchdown, fell to my knees. Ugh, I hate to be thinking about that, rough memories. Jalen Hurts, so he was on Bama, went to Oklahoma. They made the playoffs when he was at Oklahoma, but I think they lost to Bama.
Yeah.
And first year was last year. Carson Wentz started most of the year for the first half. Looked like garbage.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. And was not that same player that led the Eagles to that NFC Championship game against the Rams where he blew his knee out. I think that was the NFC Championship, right? Or I don't know. It might have been late in the year. Maybe it wasn't the NFC Championship. It might have been late in the year when he blew his ACL on that diving goal line trying to get a touchdown.
Yeah, because didn't Nick Foles take over?
And is that when they won?
I think that's
Nick Foles, the Philly special?
Yeah.
So we'll see how Carson Wentz does at the Colts. I mean, I don't have anything against him. Hopefully he can respond, do well for them. I think they have a really good defense, good team, so we'll see what Indianapolis can do. So touch on the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, see how he plays out. I saw a video that Dak was working back out with the Cowboys, so good to see him recovering well. What do you think about Dak? How do you feel about Dak?
I think he's good. I don't think he should get all the money that he's getting, but I mean, I don't know if I'd want him as my franchise quarterback.
I'll say this: I'm glad he's in our division.
Yeah.
I think he's a good quarterback, but I'm not scared of him.
I'm not scared of him. I'm actually more scared of Jalen Hurts than I am of Dak Prescott.
Hot take.
I mean,
hot take.
I think Jalen Hurts is, as good of a defensive line as we have. I just think he creates an element that, they got to contain him first.
Yeah,
but he can sling the ball too.
You got to think he might lose a step coming back, so he might have to change his game a little bit. And
the Cowboys' biggest thing is if Zeke can get going. If Zeke gets going, it makes Prescott way better.
Yeah.
Eagles, I don't think really have much of a running game, but
Zeke was one of the best running backs 2 years ago, and then last year.
I mean, they didn't have Prescott, so it's like, it's hard to have one and not the other.
Yeah. So we'll see. Cowboys, last team, Giants, big deal. They got Galladay, wide receiver from the Lions. He was on my fantasy team last year and was out like half the year. He was probably a top 2, top 3 draft pick in my fantasy and missed half the year. I mean, great receiver if he can stay healthy, but as LeBron James says, the best availability is available. What is it? I butchered that saying. I'll have to look it up. Apologies. But there's some saying like that, just being able to be healthy and being there.
That's a lot of money to throw at somebody like that.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah. I think it was 5 or 6 years, like 100-something million.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had the biggest deal out of the receivers.
Yeah.
That were available. I mean, I'd rather have Curtis Samuel.
Saquon, shout out to Saquon, Penn State. He was an animal, is an animal. Hopefully he comes back and tears everyone else up besides us. He's a fun player to watch. He does those hurdles and super athletic.
The NFC East, it's everyone looks down on them, but we got Zeke and Saquon, who are two of the top running backs in the league.
Gibson coming up.
And then
couldn't name you the Eagles running back.
I couldn't either. Miles Sanders, maybe? Is that
Sanders,
still Miles Sanders?
Yeah. Miles Sanders, funny. He was at Penn State under Saquon.
Okay.
So, and then when Saquon left, Miles Sanders had one more year at Penn State and had a big year. He just didn't get. I don't feel like he didn't get talked about a lot for whatever reason when his last year at Penn State. But yeah, he's good for the Eagles. So I think he was hurt last year, maybe.
Yeah, I think he was hurt some of the year.
So yeah, NFC East. I think we could win it again.
I don't see why not. I mean, I think it's just a tough division. Everyone beats each other.
Maybe the name change.
The name change, the new beginning.
That's right. Just some other quick NFL talk. Sam Darnold going to the Panthers. That's big. I don't know if there's been any word on Teddy Bridgewater. Have you heard anything? We'll see.
He's with the Saints, right?
Teddy Bridgewater. He was on the Panthers. The Saints have Jameis Winston and
Hill.
And Hill. Yeah. That's another interesting QB situation. Shout out to Drew Brees. Great career. That last interaction he had with Tom Brady when the Bucs beat the Saints and they were throwing around, that was cool to see.
Yeah.
That was
it's always cool. Nice to see them, outside of football.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, even though it's still kind of in football, but
yeah. Tom Brady and the Bucs obviously going on to win it. Moving on, just some more talk. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with Teddy Bridgewater. The Jets are, I would assume, going to be getting a quarterback. I think they're slotted possibly where Zach Wilson might land up there from BYU. Did you watch his pro day at all? He had that throw across his body.
Yeah.
They were talking about
they're blowing that up.
It did get blown up on part of my take. Big Cat was talking about how we should all have pro days. Like, so if you're working in the jail, you should have a pro day where someone comes and just tells you how good you are and whatnot. So that was
make you feel better about your job.
Right, that was funny. Andy Dalton, QB1 for Chicago.
Good luck.
The Red Rocket. We'll see how he can do. He was all right for the Bengals.
Is Trubisky still there? Where did he go?
Trubisky is still there. And
I don't know.
Question mark. And Nick Foles is still there. They got 3 quarterbacks.
I mean, they've already said that Andy Dalton's QB1.
Which, come on, guys. Matt Nagy.
Oh, Trubisky went to the Bills.
Trubisky to the Bills. So he'll sit under Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a beast. The Bears, they'll have to figure that out. Matt Nagy should have took a page from Riverboat Ron and said that's a QB situation, that they got a competition. Why would you name Andy Dalton the starter in the middle? Not even the middle of the summer, right? I mean, I don't know. They were trying to get Russell Wilson. Shout out Russell Wilson. Richmond Collegiate, Virginia boy. You know that? Did you know that?
Yeah.
And
played baseball against them at
baseball.
NC State.
Yeah, baseball. You played against them?
We played against them down in Coastal Carolina.
Uh-huh.
It was like a round robin tournament with NC State, Coastal, and UVA.
Nice, and he was on the team?
He was second baseman.
And starter.
I didn't pitch against him, but...
He started?
Yeah, he played against us, yeah.
Yeah. And, he's a little bit of a journeyman because he played at football Wisconsin.
He got drafted for baseball and played...
Yeah, for the Rangers.
For once.
Right?
I think he played a season in the minors and then went back to school, then got drafted in NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a crazy career. Now he's married to Sierra, I think.
Is it Sierra? Oh, no, it's not Sierra. It's Sierra.
Is it Sierra?
Yeah.
I think it's Sierra.
Yeah, that sounds right. Pop culture. You can tell we follow it. Last trade I want to talk about. This was a little early on. Matt Stafford and Jared Goff. They are swapping teams, and the Lions got all those draft picks with correct? Matthew Stafford went to the Rams, and Jared Goff went to the Lions, and the Lions also got a couple draft picks.
Yeah, I think the Rams won out, though. I'd rather have Stafford.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
Stafford
know.
is more proven in the league. He's been around longer.
What happened
Has
to
a
Jared
couple
Goff,
more
though?
injury.
They had some good seasons and some good.
Well, they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
What 3 years ago? And that was one of the most boring Super Bowls ever.
Yeah.
Was it 9-3 or something like that? Not a lot of points scored in that Super Bowl, and you never would have thought because the Rams were really good that year.
Yeah,
Was that the same year
team.
the Rams and the Chiefs played that Monday night, and the score was like 50-something to 50-something? So. Yeah. But yes, we'll see.
It's kind of like this Super Bowl. Everyone thought the Chiefs were going to put up a bunch of points and didn't even get a touchdown.
All right.
What was it? They got three field goals or
something? 3 field goals, 9 points. Mahomes was running for his life.
He was.
I think he broke the record for how many yards he ran before he threw the ball or something like that. Something crazy like that. I mean, the Chiefs
was running all over the place.
Yeah.
A little bit self-inflicted, too. But.
Yeah, that's always a fine balance of staying in the pocket and whatnot. But the Lions, I do like that their new head coach, Dan Campbell. He's had some great interviews. Saw his interview on with I'm going to mind blank right now. Who does the Pat McAfee?
Okay.
Yeah, I like Pat McAfee.
Funny
he's
guy,
fun. Yeah, he's funny. He interviewed the Lions' new head coach, Dan Campbell, and that was a good interview. If you haven't checked it out, go take a look at that. We'll talk about last thing. NFL. Patriots, they picked up a lot of players.
They revamped their whole offense the first day of free agency, I think.
13 players.
Something like that. I mean, two, Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. And then 2 of the top tight ends that were free agents. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. I think Belichick is going to be on a mission this year.
He's on a mission.
Watch for Cam Newton to come back. He's
got the weapons.
They should have won at least two more games this past year with that one game against the Jets. Or the Bills. Sorry, it was the Bills. They should have won that game. And then there was one other game. Oh, it was a 1-point game against the Seahawks. That was early in the season. So I think Belichick is going to be on a mission. I think Brady winning the first title, the first year that he's not with him, is going to fire him up and look out.
It's shown in free agency so far.
Right. Cam Newton, I like Cam Newton too, so I hope he does well.
He's got the potential. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think his shoulder injury and that surgery, he's just never been the same after that. I mean, we're talking about an MVP of the league.
Yeah, the 3
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They lost to the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning.
Because he didn't die for the ball.
Because he didn't die. and it's one of those things. It was a weird situation. I feel like he just could have fell on it.
He could have done anything other than back away.
That was
it
really
just looked bad.
Yeah, it did.
If any of us are in that situation, we might do the same thing. But on camera, you're a professional.
Yeah.
You should probably dive on it.
Yeah. Any more NFL takes? We good on the NFL?
We're good.
Hopefully the Washington football team can win the NFC East again. Hopefully.
Let's put some money on them. It's the Super Bowl.
Fitz magic, baby. Fitz magic. Moving on to some golf talk. We'll briefly touch on some golf. DJ is getting me more into it. We played the Portsmouth course, Newport News.
Newport
News course the other day. That was pretty good. I had a good time.
Decent course, yeah.
What's the best course around here that you like?
That's public, probably either Cypress Point or Sewell's Point are nice. Virginia Beach National is super nice.
Yeah.
Williamsburg.
What's the one right by Taste?
That's Bayville or something. That's private.
Okay. So you can't.
You gotta be a member or be a guest of a member.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a country club.
Yeah.
It's super nice. But Williamsburg's got a bunch of courses that are really nice.
I played at Ford's Colony.
Yeah, Ford's Colony, Kings
That was
Mill,
really nice.
Golden Horseshoe, and then New Kent has a couple that are really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to the other side of the water, and there's a lot of good courses.
Yeah, I'm getting better, trying to getting more into it, but was lucky enough to actually go to the Masters when I was down at Georgia. Good friend Tyler Rowland, he was lucky enough to have me as a friend. No, I should rephrase that. He was a good friend of mine down there, and took a couple of us down there. The 2015, I want to say, when Jordan Spieth won it. We went on Thursday. And, the cliche saying, jaw-dropping, the Masters going into it was jaw-dropping. It was really cool. You can't bring your phones in there. So, it's really old school as far as that goes. You can just get beers for like $2-3 and some pimento cheese sandwiches. So their menu's cool. And it's cool because they'll give you plastic cups, and throughout the day you'll just stack your cups up. So at the end of the day, you'll see people with just stacks of cup, and they might be swerving.
Well, I've been putting in for the lottery for tickets every year because we got a place to stay now. Shout out Julie Merriman, your sister, your other sister.
That's right.
That's and one of my huge goals in life is to go to the Masters. You've already done it, but
would love to go.
I would love to go.
Yeah, would love to get down there. Touch on it briefly. Dustin Johnson. Not making the cut. Previous winner last year. Glad we were able to get the Masters in. They delayed it to the fall last year in 2020. And he won. He broke like a record. He was 20 under. He finished 20 under. And
he won by like 5 strokes.
Yeah, crushed it. Who do you got leading into this weekend? Who's leading right now? Rose?
Justin Rose. Yeah. Spieth had a good day. He's -5, so I think he's only 2 strokes back. He won last weekend.
Where they play last weekend?
Texas.
It
was Valero Open or something like that.
He's from Texas too.
He's playing really good golf. People kind of wrote him off. He hadn't won in a while, and then I think he got pissed off, and he's coming back with vengeance.
Yeah. Saw a cool guy that neither of us had heard of. Zalapatis, maybe? Zalatoris, just butchered that. He's 6 under going in to the weekend, so look out for him. DeChambeau, I don't think he
had a tough first day, but I think he came back today to be -3 maybe.
Okay, so
-2.
He's
it's just such the course is so hard. It's going to be hard to come back like 5. But also the people leading could easily drop back down. So, I still think it's anyone's game. Anyone that's even to -7, I think still has a chance.
7 strokes.
7 is the lead.
Yeah.
So, the start of today, Justin Rose was +3. He got down to -4. And then worked his way back up to where he was.
He had a couple birdies today.
Yeah, so he worked his way back up to what he started at -7. But he started yesterday -7 on the first day when everyone else is like +2, +1.
Yeah.
He was just birdieing everything.
Did you see that video of DeChambeau when he was warming up and he was just driving ball after ball after ball?
Sweating profusely.
Yeah. What was up with that?
He's all about it.
Is he kind of like Trevor Bauer?
He's very analytical, I think.
Yeah.
So, I think you can compare those two. Bauer's all about, getting the most out of what he can get out of. Mm-hmm. DeChambeau, look at his drives. They showed a picture of one of the holes today. His drive was like 60 yards farther than anyone else's drive on that hole. It was like a spread of, dots on the fairway, and his was way up here.
Huh.
So, he's got
an outlier.
Yeah, so whatever he's doing is working for the most part. Golf's just such a tough sport.
Brooks Koepka, I didn't realize he was injured. I guess he's like playing on one leg right now.
Is it?
Supposedly he had surgery that takes 6 months to heal from, and that was a month ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, his tendons in his knee. Do you know if he made the cut? Sorry here, folks.
I'm not sure if he made the cut.
Dropping the ball a little bit.
I know he won me some money
Oh,
a few weeks ago when he won
a
little while ago. But.
Yeah. Well, yeah, looking forward to the Masters. Sunday Masters. Gonna miss Tiger being there. Hopefully Tiger is doing well in his recovery. But yeah, gonna be missing his Sunday red at the Masters. So look for people to honor him in some way. I'm sure they'll do a good job at that. Any last takes on the Masters here?
Koepka did get cut.
Okay.
Rory McIlroy got cut.
Oh.
A lot of big names cut. Max Homa, Daniel Berger.
Give us the top.
So the top guys: Justin Rose, and then it's Harmon, and then it's Zalatoris, Jordan Spieth, Leishman, Matsuyama, and then
any other big names?
Tony Finau, Justin Thomas. Those are probably the biggest names that I see. DeChambeau's -1.
Okay.
John Rahm's evens.
Who not in the leaderboard is your sleeper pick right now that could make a run, possibly? Who would you say?
Well, John Rahm him and Dustin Johnson were the favorites. I mean, he's even, so he's 7 back, which would be tough. But
who do you think's going to pull it off?
I think Tony Finau pulls it off.
Oh.
He's -4. So.
Okay. We'll see. Is that the guy that almost did you see where someone rolled their ankle? It was a year or two ago when he celebrated. He jumped up in the air and rolled his ankle. Is that same guy?
I have no idea.
I
haven't seen that video.
Oh my gosh. You guys got to check that out. Someone a year or two ago jumped up, rolled his ankle, and I think it's this guy. Not sure. But moving on from golf talk. Last thing, just want to briefly touch on some basketball. Final Four just finished up. Got second in my bracket, so I was excited about that. That Baylor-Houston game, that first Final Four game, not a very good game at all. Baylor blew them out. That second game on Saturday night, that right there sums it up. That's the reason I love sports.
Yeah, that might have been one of the best games I've ever watched, ever.
Great,
ever.
Great game. UCLA, team of destiny. That's why I love this tournament too. A team that goes from one of the first 4 in games, a play-in game.
I had them losing against Michigan State in the play-in
game. Yeah. So shout out to the Bruins. Crummon. He was coaching at Cincinnati for a while. I think it's his second or third year at UCLA. So good to see UCLA back in the Final Four. I think they're one of the programs that makes college basketball better. But that game against Gonzaga was an instant classic. It was when he hit that shot to tie it up with 3 seconds left, and Jalen Suggs got the ball, took 2 dribbles. That game winner that was awesome. Buzzer beater, jumps up on the table. He said, he was like, I wanted to be like Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade said, I jumped up on my table when you hit that shot. So
I'm glad I wasn't a UCLA fan. I can tell you that.
Did you see that video of the girl who they were at the bar and it's UCLA? Yeah. Oh, man, you talk about pure
heartbreak.
Pure heartbreak. Oh, man. But, yeah, that's it right there. Shout out to the Baylor Bears in the final. They looked good. They blitzed Gonzaga. Gonzaga had a chance to go undefeated. Obviously, didn't accomplish that. Baylor Bears.
They just
Scott Drew.
They looked so energetic, like they were flying all over the court. Gonzaga was struggling every offensive possession.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they took off a defensive possession. They were in their face the entire game. Gonzaga just looked deflated from the tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they Gonzaga. They had a great season. Maybe obviously not the best conference, so lack some competition in that. But Mark Few does a great job. They'll be back. They recruit well, so
the UCLA game was the second game all season that they had won within 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, they were blowing.
West Virginia was the other game.
Yeah, I mean, they were blowing teams out, regardless of how good they are. Like somebody normally comes within 10 points.
Mm-hmm. And then comparing the WCC or whatever conference that is that Gonzaga plays in, comparing that conference to the Big 12 conference, night and day.
Yeah,
I mean, Big 12, every game, twice a week, all season. Big 12, you're going to have a tough matchup. Tough matchup, night in, night out of the Big 12. Baylor, they had missed some couple weeks during the season. Came back, lost to Kansas at Kansas, one of the toughest places to play. They had some I think Kansas actually was maybe one of the leading people with attendance this year. I saw a couple of their games. So a tough place to play, senior night at Kansas. Baylor loses there. That might have been their only loss. I think it is. Maybe they lost one. Oh, they lost to Texas in the Big 12 championship. And then, so 2 losses going into the tournament. There was one clip I just wanted, it was awesome to see. I'm a big defensive guy. And I want to say it was Teague, one of Baylor's guards. He went, for a steal and his momentum carried out of bounds. And, with no one in the crowd this year, all the benches spaced out. There's a bunch of space, so there's no one there to catch him. So he goes, 15 feet out of bounds behind the scoreboard. Ball still in play. Gonzaga, is moving the ball, finding the man. During this time, Teague is sprinting back on the court, sprints from out of bounds, one side of the court, all the way to the other side of the court, is the rotating player to get to that corner 3 shot. Gets a hand, contests the corner 3 from Gonzaga. He misses it, Just a little play that goes a long way that won't show up in the box score, but defining the the game right there. I think Baylor just was a better team that night.
Out hustling, out defense. They say wins championships. Their defense was stopping Gonzaga's high-powered offense.
Mm-hmm.
The big guy, was it
Vital or
no? The big guy for Gonzaga, he couldn't do anything. Timmy. He was struggling all night too.
Yeah, they were playing. They were fronting him and helping in the back, and they were just so athletic they could do that.
Yeah,
and if Gonzaga threw it over the top, a Baylor guy would be right there, maybe stealing the ball or not giving Timmy any space. So, their defensive game plan against Gonzaga was on point. Shout out to the coaching staff, Scott Drew. And then it was cool. I saw they showed his first interview, after he won his first interview back in 2004 or 5 or whenever he was first started at Baylor. And I don't think they were really a powerhouse. And, he came in with aspirations of winning a national title. So just look at that. Dreams do come true.
So go to the Masters.
Yeah, right. Just other quick touches on some coaching carousel. Sean Miller out at Arizona. Heard he might go into the NBA and be an assistant coach. So look out for that. And Roy Williams retiring at UNC. Roy Williams, obviously a great coach at UNC and Kansas. So he will be missed. Hubert Davis taking over there, longtime assistant. I think that was a pretty good pickup for the Heels, knowing the culture.
I was hoping Michael Jordan would come out.
Oh, wow. I didn't
just
think about
start
that.
coaching.
Yeah. That would be epic.
Yeah, it would.
You talk about a recruiting tool.
I don't think he'd be a very good coach, though. I feel like he was such a gamer.
It's kind of like Patrick Ewing right now.
Yeah. He's doing
Georgetown.
all right, though.
I mean, they won the Big East.
Yeah,
credit
they say
to
the
him.
best players don't make the best coaches, or whatever. But
Right.
Grant Hill, he's the Michigan coach, right?
No,
Juwan
Howard.
Howard.
Juwan Howard.
Yeah,
Juwan Howard.
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill's a commentator. I think.
Right. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think NBA TV maybe.
Yeah, and yeah. So Jerry Stackhouse, he coaches at Vanderbilt. He's a good coach. Former player. Let's see. Here we got one last shout out. Women's college basketball. I don't know if you saw this. The clip of the Arizona coach when they won in the Final Four. Shout out to her. That was an awesome clip. Telling her team to screw the doubters, basically, giving her team a little pep talk. So that was cool to see. They lost to Stanford in the national championship. That was cool to see for the Stanford women's head coach too. It was the longest period between someone winning a national title because she won one in like 1992 at Stanford, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's been at Stanford head coach for a while. And I want to say she won the national title in 1992. And like I said, it was the longest streak from one title to the next, winning it in 2021, so 19 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that was cool.
It was 92 or 2002?
92, that would have been, yeah.
30.
Yeah.
29,
excuse me.
yeah.
Good math over here.
See where Katie gets it
from. So just touch on some NBA real quick. The Nets, they are leading the East. The Jazz, they are leading the West. Look for the playoffs here to come up. Should be exciting playoffs. NBA playoffs, always a fun time to watch. Always exciting. I think the West, will be more competitive. The East, I don't think the Nets have any real competition. Just adding Blake Griffin and they just added one more guy too, right?
It's hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up with them.
They got an all-star team.
Yeah. The Lakers just adding Drummond. So that's
the Lakers need to get healthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
LeBron, AD. Think they'll be all right.
Regardless of their seeding or record, they're still going to be tough to beat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Last quick shout out, Jordan Battle. He's a former North Collegiate star and went to Hargrave, just some high school ball recruiting. I think he will be making his commitment here soon, hopefully. So be on the lookout for that. I think a couple teams are still in the running. Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky. Heard possibly ODU as well. So that would be cool if, ODU fell in line. So it would be fun to watch Jordan play back in the area. Great kid, great talent. I think he'll do well at the next level. So looking out for that. DJ, again, thanks for joining. Any last words? It's been a good ride here.
It's been fun.
All right, boys and girls, thanks for joining us. We will catch you on the flip side.